Hello, everyone. This is Francine. I'm so glad you're here today for Autumn is Here. I'm your host, Francine Crawford. I am here today in my anniversary attire. I have my glitter on. It's my 3rd year anniversary. I'm very excited to be here today. I was looking through the news and I'm so concerned about some of the things that are happening in the world. They are cutting back on so many different things and so many different services. I've read that they are cutting back on the CDC, which is the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, and they are cutting all these 2,400 jobs out of that. And, we don't realize what the CDC covers, but it covers a lot of different departments, and they are not only cutting administration, which they said they were cutting administration. They're not only cutting administration, they are cutting scientists also. And not that the administration is not important, that's important too. You want our records right. You want them to take the information well. You want our charts to be right, or our biomarkers to be in the right place that they whoever enters the information in. So administration is important too. But they are cutting researchers and scientists and, people that help in so many different fields and HIV research and prevention and blood work and things like that, places that are protected environment for workers and departments like that. And they're also affecting the BOLD Act, came together in 2018, and it was slated to help people learn more about Alzheimer's and to get information and to get some research on it and to be able to help people with caregiving for Alzheimer's and research and understanding it and education and things like that. It was slated $33 million per year, and it was reauthorized by the Senate and the House unanimously voted to keep it going. And now they don't even have anybody in the department to take care of that now because of these cuts. So we're going to be affected by all of these different cuts and different things like that. And I don't want us to get, I have anxiety about it when I look at TV sometimes. So I have to turn off the TV, as a person who talks about people who are getting older and aging, and as a person who talks about and supports caregivers and caregiving, I just want us to make sure that we look out for certain things and we are aware of certain things. Sometimes we have to take things into our own hands. Sometimes we have to be a little bit more alert with certain things. I'm not trying to sound an alarm or anything, and every little thing is a concern. But, there will be normal things with aging. We're all going to age, and it's a blessing to age. And there'll be normal things with aging. You may start getting wrinkles and different things like that, gray hair. I'm glad I don't have. And your eyes may start dimming, sensory issues with hearing and things like that. So these things may change. You may start forgetting, and slow to recall. Not anything serious, but that just may happen to you. And those are natural physiological things that may happen to you. Your muscles may get a little weaker as you get older. And those are things you know that's going to happen and you look out for. And I'm sure your family members realize that. But also there are some things that we're going to have to look out for ourselves that are serious public health issues, and we have to be on top of it. We have to take care of different things. There are different diseases that will affect us more as we age, or we're more susceptible to it, like heart disease and diabetes and high blood pressure and things like that. We have to watch out for obesity. There are so many things that we have to watch out for as we get older because we're more susceptible to it. And even like the common cold, if we get a cold, we have to be able to make sure that it doesn't go any further than that. It doesn't turn into a flu, which turns into bronchitis, which may turn into pneumonia. Our lifestyles are different. Our body is different. Our strength and our ability to fight off things may be a little bit weaker. So it may be better for us it is better for us to make ourselves aware of that. And if you're a family member, be aware of that for your loved one. Make sure, even if you're not caring for them now, just be aware of that. Be aware of certain tests that they should have to take. Make sure they take their mammograms and their colonoscopy and all kinds of other tests that they have to take, their prostate and things like that. Make sure they take those tests and just keep up with that. We don't want them to be unhealthy, but we don't want them also to get depressed with being overwhelmed by stuff. So be careful with what they look at, what they listen to, watch their mood swings and things like that. Depression can show up in so many different ways. We don't only have to protect their physical body, but we have to protect their mental health. The mental health, if they are depressed or lonely, it is something that we need to look out for and make sure that we're aware of it. It can happen for different reasons. It can happen because they're isolated. It can happen because there are people that are passing away and dying, and or family is not calling anymore, or nobody comes over anymore. It can happen in just getting a diagnosis of something can put them in a depression. We need to make sure as family members that we are looking out for this. It happens all the times with older people. Life changes and depression does show up. So we have to keep their physical body well, but we also have to keep their mental body well. Also with anxiety, and anxiety from all the different news and stuff that happens. I get anxiety, so I know other people get anxiety. We should watch what they're seeing and just be careful that they're not retreating because they're scared to go outside. They're scared to be around people. They're scared of crowds. They're scared of loud noises. They're scared. If you see they're having all this fear, if you notice that, please take them to the doctor. Make sure things are okay. Make sure that they are in an environment that is calm. And there are things that you can do for that. You can get therapy. You can just maybe have to make sure their living environments are good, but also be aware of changes in their living environment. Also, that may make them uncomfortable and may make them anxious about different things. So make sure, watch their mood swings. Think different things like that. And also, a lot of things that we don't really attribute to it, but a lot of things can be helped by a better diet. So if you go to the doctor and they do not suggest a nutritionist, I would tell you to suggest a nutritionist just to see, just so they can analyze what the person is taking, or how they're eating, their eating habits, how they're going to the bathroom, how their medications, what medications they're on that might affect their eating. We might think we have a stomach ache all the time, and it may be because the food that we used to eat, we can't eat anymore. When we used to be able to drink milk and tolerate it, we can't tolerate it anymore. When we used to be able to eat, heavy meats, we can't eat it anymore. Different things that we used to eat, seeds and nuts and stuff like that. Maybe our body has changed that we can't eat it anymore. Look at their diet. Ask for a nutritionist. They can give you a nutritionist that can get a plan, if you give them all the information, that can get a plan that's specifically for your person that you're caring for. And that's something that we all need to do. It's not too late to change our eating habits or our well-being in that way. And that change might make a big difference. You never know. Also exercise and keep them social. Make sure that you're social. If you're a senior, make sure you're social. Go out to senior centers, go out to senior adult centers, go out to places that they are having an activity for older adults. Join them. If you're a family member, go with them. Make sure that they're active. Make sure they're safe. Make sure they're active. Let them keep going to these different places. Let them play games. Get to stimulate their mind, bingo and board games and different things like that. Let them play games. Let them be around people that are having conversation. Now, if they can't go out and they're immobile, bring the people to them. Bring friends that they haven't seen in a while. Maybe it's transportation, that why their friend doesn't visit them. See that they have a way to get there and to get back home, or speak to their family members. Maybe they can do that and bring them together so they can socialize and eat their favorite foods, or even just sit around even just sit around and tell stories. That helps too, where they can just remember the past and things like that. Play music for them. Play music and get them up dancing if that's what they like to do, or singing. Maybe they don't have the voice that they used to have, but it's still active to do it, and makes them feel good and have fun with it. There's so many things that we can do, that we can take into our own hands to help us to have a better quality of life as we grow older. And we want to make sure our seniors and our families have a better quality of life as they grow older. I know these things that they're doing in the government is disturbing, but we have to stay vigilant in what we do for our care and our loved ones. We have to be aware of certain things. We have to be aware that things may not stay the same, so it's okay to take things into your own hands. It's okay to equip yourself with education and knowledge about different illnesses, diseases, different things in the community and activities, and different things that affect the well-being and the health and the medical treatment of your aging adults. And that's something that, you can do. You can do that now. So make sure that you look into that and make sure that they are being taken care of, and make sure they get enough sleep. Sleep is very, very important. Get exercise and get some sleep. And some exercises are not that hard. You can sit in a chair and do exercises, and that's good. And if they can swim, there's some places that have swimming for older adults. So please look into that, and keep them moving, keep them motivated, and let them get some sleep and rest. And maybe they'll, have better days and won't be as frustrated or aggravated or grumpy or, fearful or things like that. So there are things that we can do. So I would like to say, amongst all these things that are happening, try to take things in your own hands and be able to be aware of stuff. So this way, things can be better in the life that you have for yourself, and be better in the life that you have for the one that you're caring for. That's my show for today. I thank you for 3 years of support. I appreciate it. And I'll see you again for at least another 3 years. All right. Autumn is here.